Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I welcome you to English grade 6 video lessons. This is your instructor Zia Hamid. How are you, my dear learners? I hope that you're doing well and you are enjoying your learning. So as you know that we are done with unit 1 and now we have proceeded towards unit number 2. The title is Someone Who Understands. You have gone through the lesson very well. Now this will be our lecture number 4 with the competency of grammar, and the topic is transitional devices. So now, my dear learners, let's begin by reading and understanding our students' learning outcome. It says, explain functions of different conjunctions, transitional devices used for addition, for example, and, to, as well as, or sequence, for example, then, while, before, or reason, for example, because, as, for. So let's break down our students' learning outcome. We are talking about conjunctions or transitional devices that we use for number 1 additions, then also for sequence, and lastly for reason. The examples are given. So we will be seeing our functions of different conjunctions or transitional devices. Now let's begin, but first here is a vertical linkage of our SLO with the previous grade. We have already gone through it very well. Now moving on, we have a very interesting brainstorming activity for you. You have to read this given passage, and you can see that there are some missing blanks over here. Read this passage and then add the appropriate transitional devices or words that you think should come where it is missing. So pause the video, read it, and do this activity as soon as possible. Now, moving on with our topic, which is transitional devices, and we know that in transitional devices we have our transitional words. So let's see, but here first we have a fact for you. The word on Greek root, it means time. So the word chron, for example, in chronology or chronological order, so when we talk about time, the word is coming from the root word of Greek language, which is chron. So this was a very interesting fact. Now transitional devices, let's see, they are like traffic signs. These words tell the reader when to go forward, slow down, turn around, and stop. So this is the purpose of transitional words, and transitional devices are words or phrases that help carry a thought from one sentence to another. So this is about our transitional devices. So what does it tell us? It tells us when we have to move forward, stop, turn around, or so all these things they will be catered when we use our transitional devices. So the transitional devices are basically, what are they? They are words, and they can be phrases also. So they carry you from one thought to the other. Let's see, it works like a bridge. Now it acts like a bridge. They connect one idea to another, moving from one point to the next discussion or from one paragraph to another. So when we want to do this transition or change from one paragraph or sentence to another paragraph or sentence accordingly, we use our transitional devices, which are basically our transitional words, and all these words connect and make the whole paragraph or your whole passage in a very connected way and in a very good, efficient way. Now let's see how many types of transitional words we have. So for sequence, we have words like that keep our sequence intact: before, then, once, next, last, at last. All these are our transitional words for sequencing our written work or our paragraph or passage. So also we have transitional words for adding something or addition. We have words like and, in addition to, furthermore, moreover, and so many other transitional words when we want to add something in our sentences. And also for reason, giving reason or asking, we have because, since, as, due to. So all these are transitional devices for showing reason. We have sequence, addition, and reason. Now, my dear learners, we have to indicate our sequence or order. We have all these words. These are used for the beginning. These words are used for when you are in the middle, and for ending you have these words. So all these are transitional words. For sequence, we use first, next, later, in the end, etc. For example, first she finished her homework, then she cooked rice. So she did these tasks in a sequence. So if you want to tell that she did this thing first, you add first, and the transitional device or word is followed by a comma. So first she finished her homework. Now we have another transitional word here. Then, to shift us from this to this, we used our transitional word. Then she cooked rice. So we have this sentence which is intact and connected. It can be used as an example of a bridge. We connected it together by using our transitional words. Now let's see, we have a story. You are already familiar with this one, the hare and the tortoise. You can read the story and study how the underlined transitional words were used. The transitional words are underlined. Now you need to know and you need to work on it, that how it is used. Now let's see, something to ponder upon we have. Let's think about it. We have a question for you. What would a clock be if it didn't have numbers? Can you imagine that? It would be timeless. Yes. So transitional words are used commonly in stories to add meaning to the time element of the story. So we know that in stories time is very important. We tell our stories. We know that what we did first and what comes next. So in order to keep the time, to use the time in a good way in our stories, we use our transitional words. Now from page number 14 of your book, let's read it. So for addition, if you want to add something in your passage, in your paragraph, also to, again, as well as in addition, all these are used for addition or adding something in your sentences. For example, these kittens are of a rare species and are very expensive to buy. So we know that we completed the sentence. These kittens are of a rare species, but when we want to add some information, we used this transitional word add, and then we added the information are very expensive to buy. So this and is actually connected these two different parts of a sentence. So for reason, for reasoning, showing reason, we have because of, due to, as, for, etc. Let's look at an example. The farmer had to sell the kittens because they were of a good breed. So this transitional word because here is telling us, is giving us reason that why the farmer sold the kittens. Now let's see which comes first. So you need to rearrange the events in their correct order to complete the story. Then identify the transitional words used for each paragraph. You can read them and then correct the order of the story. Now, here is a very interesting simulation video for your better understanding. You can watch it right now or later on, but I wish that you learn more about the topic through the simulation video. Now, for your classroom activity, we have a prompt. This is question A. Make sentences using transitional words that you have learned. Then work in pairs to discuss and explain the functions of each transitional devices in your sentences. So this is your classroom activity, my dear learners. Let's move on with a very interesting prompt for you, another one for your homework or for your classroom. You can do it anytime. A strange creature just crashed and landed in your backyard. What happens next? Complete the story using appropriate transitional words. So after learning about all the transitional devices and the transitional words that we use, now it's time to put those in practice, make a story and use the transitional words accordingly and appropriately. A worksheet is attached. Now we have a homework from your book. This is complete the given sentences using transitional devices from word bank. Also identify the category of the devices you have learned. A word bank is given and some sentences with blanks are given. So you need to identify the category of the device that you are using. We have already covered that they are from sequence, reason or addition. Now at the end, we would like to introduce some resources for your better understanding. They can be easily found in the description of the video. We have worksheet, presentation, a lesson plan, a question bank, and last but not the least, a skill sheet. All these are attached in the description of the video. I hope that you had good time learning about transitional devices, the transitional words, different categories of transitional devices that we learned, and also we saw examples, and you are also asked to do homework or activities for your practice. Until the next video lesson, I'm your instructor Zia Hamid signing off. Allah Hafiz.